This is our combination sander. It's a combination of a belt and a disc sander. The belt sander is used for flat surfaces only. So we take a piece of wood and we're going to only sand a flat edge on that. With the belt sander, the belt spins down to push the workpiece into the table. There's a few adjustments on this machine. Underneath here is a little handle that you can loosen to bevel the table or put it at an angle. We can hold our workpiece up there and have it still tight against the table. What we should not be seeing you do is hold your workpiece up at an angle like this to get that bevel. You need to make sure you're tilting the table. Once you have the table to the desired location or the desired angle, tighten it up with that little hand screw underneath the work table. Tighten it up, make sure your table is secure. With any of the sanders, you want to make sure that the tables are 90 degrees to the belts or to the discs or whatever sanding device you're using. So we use our square, put it on the table to make sure that it's 90 degrees to the belt surface or the sanding surface. We can do the same thing with the disc sander by putting it on the table, lining it up to the disc and making sure that it's a perfect 90-degree angle. With any sander, we only want to use light, even pressure. We don't want to use a lot of force. If you need to take off a lot of material, you need to cut that piece of wood or lumber first before you come sand it at the machine. Make sure you keep your workpiece moving across the belt, that you don't sit in one location or spot. Before you start using any machine in the shop, you need to always read the warning labels on the machines. Warning labels are usually somewhere very accessible and easy to find. Our warning label on this machine is right down here next to the on-off switch. You need to read that before you start using the machine.
Reading the warning label during this demonstration does not count as reading the warning label. You should always read the warning label before each use of the machine. You should always read the warning label and owner's manual before using any machine in the shop. You need to always wear your eye protection in the shop at all times, not just when you're using the machines.
Always wear your safety glasses while working in the shop. You're ready to turn the machine on. Push the green button to start it. Next we'll look at the disc sander. The disc sander is used for sanding outside radiuses. An outside radius would be a round corner similar to this. The disc sander is divided into two parts. If you go straight down the disc,
You have the
upstroke and the downstroke of the disc. The upstroke means it's coming up out of the table. The downstroke means it's going down into the table. We always sand on the downstroke. If we sand on the upstroke, it will lift our workpiece up off of the table and not give us a stable area to work on. When we sand on the downstroke, it pushes our workpiece down into the table so that it stays firm and that it's a nice stable area to work on. The table of the disc sander also bevels so that we can sand angles or chamfers or bevels. We loosen the little knob on the front of the sander, and there's one on the back of the sander table. We get those loose and the table will go to different angles to whatever desired angle you need. We want to get it back at 0. We tighten it back into place. Make sure it's nice and snug. With any of the sanders, you want to make sure that the tables are 90 degrees to the belts or to the discs or whatever sanding device you're using. So we use our square, put it on the table to make sure that it's 90 degrees to the belt surface or the sanding surface. We can do the same thing with the disc sander by putting it on the table, lining it up to the disc and making sure that it's a perfect 90-degree angle. If you get confused about which side of the disc is the downstroke, there is an arrow right on the top to tell you the direction the disc travels. Go ahead and turn the machine on. Make sure you keep your workpiece moving, and you can work anywhere between the center of the disc and the outside edge. Now we're ready to use the disc sander. We push the green button to turn it on, the red button to turn it off. Again, all of the sanders are used for light cuts. They are not meant to take off a lot of material. If you need to take off a lot of material, you need to cut it first and then come sand it to clean up that cut edge.
If you do not know how to use this machine or any other machine in the shop, please ask for help.